Today is Tuesday, November the 24th, and if we look at McClellan oscillator, we see that we are moving into overbought, and we're pretty much at our previous overbought level. We've got three recent overboughts that have proven to be highs. So we could expect a little bit of a drawdown tomorrow because Thursday is a holiday and Friday is a half a day. But now take a look at the S&P. The S&P has broken out. Let me get rid of some of these here because they're not as interesting anymore. And what we see here is this wedge pattern, which was a bit of a bull flag, starting here with the flagpole and the pennant. We've broken out. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Nothing says that we aren't going any higher. The volatility index sinks down to that low area. Apple up $1.75. Whoops. That's not what we wanted. So Apple still below the cloud. Got to get rid of some of these lines here so we can get a reasonable chart. Apple is still below the cloud. The Chiku span, look at the Chiku span, right below this trailing candle 26 days behind, which would indicate that we're probably due for more downside tomorrow and going into the next few days. So today's upside for Apple was sort of dispelled by this resistance on the candle. NIO is the other one that we want to look at, and we can see some really interesting stuff with NIO. If we look at the yesterday's Fibonacci's, which really do much better than the Woody's pivots. Let's get rid of the Fibonacci's and let's look at the Woody's pivots. Didn't quite hit R1, really fell below the pivot point, didn't make S1, so why would that be? What are the trading patterns of the day traders? Well, now let's get rid of the Woody's pivots. Let's look and see that yesterday's high, the sellers today, after the first 15 minutes, because you don't want to trade in the first 15 minutes, but the first 5 minutes, second 5 minutes, where did they top out? Yesterday's high. And then it was down after that, once sellers came in at yesterday's high. Then when we tried to recover, the sellers were standing right below 100%. And where did they find support? At 38%, 2 times. And they found resistance at the 61.81%, 2 times. Struggled here, but eventually found resistance and finished the day at the 61.8. So the day traders numbers were using yesterday's Fibonacci high and low, and they're not using the Woody's pivots. Caterpillar up, forming a new high. So this is an important marker for Caterpillar here, where we've made a new high. And if we look at this on a longer term basis, this is an all-time high for Caterpillar. Almost 180. Home Depot, not making new highs, but nonetheless, you know, Home Depot is a good stock to hold, particularly if there's more staying at home. AT&T has just been rocking it. Look at that. This is a stock that's still over 7% dividend and approaching 38.2%, but still a long way to go, but getting support on the 50. if you're sitting on this stock like I am with several thousand shares, trying to hold on to that dividend, this is just a great stock to counterbalance some of your other momentum plays. The banks, there's a U.S. bank, but you can look at JP Morgan, says the same thing. Finished at the high of its range for the day, up $2.31. Whirlpool, your stay-at-home home improvement play, close to making new highs. So what are we looking at tomorrow? Let's take a look at the McClellan oscillator, which is telling us that we're overbought. Looking at the S&P, which is breaking out of this wedge, but we are coming into a holiday where there'll be no trading on Thursday. Europe will trade, China will trade, we will not, and then Friday is a half a day. So we can probably expect a little bit of muted trading. Apple is still not a stock you want to buy, and NIO is still a stock that's probably chattering. Could be going higher if we look at it on a daily basis. If we get rid of all of this stuff here, could be going higher, but probably not this week.